IJAMEA.
Overview. The Imperial Japanese Anomalous Matters Examination Agency, or IJAMEA, not to be confused with the Foundation precursor IJAMEA. The Imperial German Anomalous Matters Examination Agency was Japan's official and primary anomaly agency in the period from the Meiji Restoration in 1868 until the end of World War II in 1945.
IJAMEA was founded with the purpose to bring Japan up to speed with Western esoterics research, acting as a modern counterpart to PRI existing so-called primitive groups. In this capacity, the IJAMEA catalogued hundreds of different anomalies spread throughout Japan and her colonies, conducted extensive research on these, and undertook numerous projects aiming to utilize the anomalies for the greater good of the fledgling empire. IJAMEA saw its most significant role during World War II, when it attempted to weaponize several anomalies to assist military forces in the war against the Allies. Rushed planning and insufficient funds, however, resulted in few of these programs bearing fruit. The IJAMEA was formally disbanded with the Treaty of San Francisco in 1951, and most of its assets were either transferred to GOC control or covertly acquired by the Foundation. However, Imperial loyalists and Japanese nationalists within it kept IJAMEA alive in the post-war years, this time as a clandestine organization, during which its main focus was checking the spread of communist influence in Japan and East Asia. Today, it primarily serves to care for the well-being of Japan's diverse but faltering anomalous ecology, and supports various nationalist agendas with its ties to prominent politicians, business people, and cultural personalities throughout Japan.
It seeks to return some political power to the imperial family and return Japan to great power status, and actively seeks to exploit the various anomalies in its possession for this purpose.
The Foundation is seen as a foreign rival at best, and agents are to exercise due caution when interacting with IJAMEA personnel. Just Girly Things. Overview. Just Girly Things is an anomalous internet blog focused on encouraging girls to partake in traditionally feminine aesthetics and activities. The website went online in 2010, after beginning as a magazine in 2006, and is inaccessible to any individual with a Y chromosome. The Just Girly Things website and other products associated with GOFA 319 exhibit a mimetic effect, compelling subjects with an XX karyotype to join the group and adhere to its leader's conception of traditional gender roles for women,
even when those directly conflict with the subject's prior political beliefs or gender identity.
Members of Just Girly Things tend to exhibit manipulative behavior towards those around them, doing anything they can to spread the group's ideals more broadly. GOFA 319 is considered particularly dangerous due to its highly infectious nature. The founder of GOFA 319 is GOFA 319, a charismatic reality bender known as Girly.
GOFA 319 has demonstrated a powerful ability to compel others to adopt its way of thinking through a combination of social manipulation and anomalous means.
Manna Charitable Foundation. Overview. Established in 1971 as an interfaith humanitarian relief agency, recovered documents describe the Manna Charitable Foundation's mission as sharing all of God's miracles with the least of his children. Funded indirectly through associations with various charitable groups and religious organizations, and on occasion publicly endorsed by wealthy philanthropists or academic institutions, the MCF's primary agenda since its founding has been the free distribution of anomalous objects or their byproducts
to civilians living in poverty-stricken regions in the Third World or in areas afflicted by warfare, famine, or natural disaster.
The MCF is currently recognized as a non-governmental organization by the United Nations and is known to operate legally and illegally in several hostile or isolated regions outside the Foundation's sphere of influence. While no SCP objects known to have been distributed by the MCF to date have caused intentional harm to human beings or communities, and detained MCF operatives tend to demonstrate strong pacifist beliefs, containment breaches associated with the group have often resulted in human casualties or severe threats to the global status quo due to unforeseen consequences of the object's release from containment, and/or zeal to distribute potentially helpful objects immediately without rigorous scientific study of their long-term behavior.
It is a non-governmental organization which started as an interfaith humanitarian relief agency formed from the collaboration of various charitable groups and religious organizations with the intent to freely distribute anomalous objects or products to civilians living in regions or areas plagued by poverty, warfare, famine, and natural disaster. Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited.
Overview.
A club based in London, England, catering to the super-rich and with extensive political and financial ties worldwide. This group has caused extensive problems for the Foundation. Marshall, Carter, and Dark Ltd. is known for collecting rare and obscure items, along with providing its members the most exclusive, expensive, and rare experiences available. These activities have resulted in conflict with the Foundation on numerous occasions. The group is not known for the use of force. They prefer to apply extreme financial and political pressure to achieve their goals. When forced to use more direct means, Marshall, Carter, and Dark Ltd. employs outside agents, and it is very difficult to connect said agents to the organization. Marshall, Carter, and Dark Ltd. has caused several SCP containment breaches, primarily through the use of money or social pressure. Several reports, records, and even items have been leaked by Foundation personnel who had been approached with large amounts of money, or threats of extensive jail time or torture. Notably, 2 containment sites were almost brought to public attention after the Foundation refused access to members of Marshall, Carter, and Dark Ltd. Information pertaining to Marshall, Carter, and Dark Ltd., such as the name of the director or even a list of members, has proven very difficult to acquire. Agents encountering members of this group are advised to maintain a cover story and not, for any reason, reveal Foundation TOIs or SCP information. It is a mysterious business club of aristocrats that specializes in the sale of anomalous entities and objects for profit. Although it makes itself appear as an affable and friendly business company, they have committed a series of unethical acts of profit, such as weapons, drugs, and even human trafficking. Medician Academy of Occult Art.
Overview.
One of the most ancient and renowned academic institutions in the anomalous world, the Medician Academy of Occult Art, in Italian, Medicea Accademia dell'Arte Occulta, is a GUI based in Florence, Italy.
Founded in the late 15th century by Lorenzo de' Medici, Lord of Florence and patron of arts. During the Renaissance, the Academy was able to spread its influence across most nations of Europe and the courts of the old continent.
The activities promoted by the Academy included teaching art to kinks and the recollection of old anomalous artifacts from ancient cultures. From the mid-18th century, after going through a brief period of decadence, the Academy was able to recover and create new branches in new countries across new continents. The institution oriented its activity towards the recovery and restoration of artistical items, developing a peculiar taste for the arts. This led to hostile relations with the AWCY
movement, which is considered the main rival of the Academy.
The Medician Academy of Occult Art, Italian, Medicea Accademia dell'Arte Occulta MADAO, is a private organization specializing in acquiring purely modern anomalous works of art.
Founded by Lorenzo de' Medici in 1484, MADAO is headquartered in the Palazzo Medici Riccardi in Florence, Italy.
It is friendly to the SCP Foundation and its Italian branch, collaborating with them on several occasions. Nobody.
Overview. Little is currently known about the person, entity, or group known as Nobody.
First sighted in 1954. They have had numerous appearances since. There has only been one person seen at any given time, typically described as a male Caucasian dressed in a grey suit and a fedora. If asked his identity, he replies that he's Nobody. However, it is not known if this is the work of a single person or multiple agents of a single, unknown agency.
Their agenda is currently unknown, sometimes helping the Foundation, sometimes hindering it.
Caution is recommended if any field agents encounter an operative identifying themselves as Nobody. Nobody is a title bestowed to various individuals, granting them several antimemetic properties that allow them to hide from everyone and easily sneak anywhere they wish.
More often they use their identity of Nobody to keep the world and its inhabitants, humans and other anomalous beings included, safe by fighting hostile and dangerous anomalies or groups of interest from the shadows.
Due to the nature of the SCP Foundation, nobody can be either the organization's ally or enemy. Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts ORIA.
Overview.
The Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts ORIA is a paramilitary force, answerable only to the Supreme Leader of Iran, dedicated to the collection and utilization of anomalous artifacts throughout the Middle East and Central Asia. Following the 1979 overthrow of the Imperial Iranian government by revolutionary forces and subsequent creation of the Islamic Republic of Iran, all Foundation personnel were expelled from Iran as agents of colonialism.
Attempts at maintaining a clandestine presence in the country met with failure, with the majority of Foundation personnel either captured or killed in sites and being captured by Iranian forces. To prevent Iran from being left behind in the field of extranormal research, the ORIA was created by a secret decree of Supreme Leader Khomeini in 1981.
Despite its name, the group has not limited itself to the pursuit of anomalous objects of Islamic origin.
Although the ORIA has access to considerable resources, its effectiveness is hobbled by infighting among numerous factions within the organization.
Some of these disputes center around philosophical differences, such as the weaponization of anomalous objects, while others appear to be personal in nature. The proliferation of factions appears to have been intentional, as the organization of the ORIA often leaves multiple commanders with overlapping areas of responsibility. It is theorized that the reasoning behind this arrangement was to prevent any one individual from accumulating enough power to pose a challenge to the Supreme Leader. With the spread of Iranian hegemony throughout the Middle East and Western Asia, the ORIA has expanded its reach across the region,
becoming the foremost paranormal organization in the Middle East.
The ORIA is to be considered a hostile force, and Foundation personnel are advised to use extreme caution when engaging.
ORIA is an Iranian paramilitary organization and the primary anomalous organization in Iran due to the expulsion and execution of numerous SCP Foundation personnel as well as the destruction of 3 sites within Iran after the Iranian Revolution.
Oneiroi Collective.
Overview.
Information about the Oneiroi Collective has come to the Foundation only through analysis and interviews or the anomalous objects they leave behind. It is believed to be a collective consciousness of dreaming persons and dream-based entities. Intelligence has shown that they have been documented by other groups of interest, usually to a degree similar to the Foundation's interaction. The Oneiroi Collective is apparently capable of contacting even highly isolated entities, for example nobody.
Their goals, if any exist, are currently unknown.
Parawatch.
Overview.
The Parawatch Wiki is an online web forum of conspiracy theorists, paranormal enthusiasts, and amateur writers, operating with the intent of investigating and exposing anomalous phenomena.
The group primarily compiles short stories on their forum, detailing encounters with paranormal phenomena, historical cases, and any unusual events users have experienced.
Further operation and any potential impact on normalcy is hindered by the geographic spread of the user base and the lack of central coordination.
Despite investment in the paranormal, Parawatch has no knowledge on the nature of anomalous phenomena, the veil, and the Foundation's existence.
This, in tandem with public obscurity, has prevented them from potentially endangering the veil. The group is currently being left active as a means of misinforming and misleading other investigations into the anomalous. Pseudogenesis Productions.
Overview.
Pseudogenesis Productions is a small, anomalous theatre company, focused on creating immersive and innovative theatrical productions through the use of mimetic and ontological anomalies.
With a central team of 4, Pseudogenesis collaborates with local anarchists and performers to make one-of-a-kind experiences to give everybody a chance to see the world from a new perspective.
Despite the relative benign anomalies and performances they create, the Foundation does whatever they can to stop them. Their refusal to respect the veil has led to many conflicts, and circumstances where the only option the Foundation has left is convincing the audience that it's all part of the show. Tickets sell out fast, so don't wait, come see a performance today. Rise on note, cognito-hazardous influence detected.